Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast. And the reason why I'm so low is because it's nighttime, ladies and gentlemen. We got to make this sexy. Anyways, how's it going, guys? Welcome to this podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and hey, guys, listen. This is episode 129, and I cannot fucking believe it. Listen, if you were searching on the internet for some weird porn and you accidentally came across my podcast and you're not a movie fan, well, hopefully I can convince you to be one. If you're watching on YouTube right now and you want an audio-only version of this podcast, I'm on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes. Link will be in the description below. And if you're listening on Spreaker and all those audio-only versions, and you want a video version to see my face in this terrible light setup, then you can do that. Link will be in the description below. So as I said, guys, I'm Chase Lee, and if you were new to this podcast, welcome. Hopefully I didn't scare you off too much. I am sorry that I'm getting this up late, but it is Mother's Day, and I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, including my own. That's where I was. I surprised her for lunch. I drove to my parents' house, and that's what I did. And now I'm here. Now I'm back in the cave/bedroom, and now I'm here to record the episode for you guys. And let's get this rolling. So, like I said, if you are new, what I do is I go over some movie news, some trailers that dropped during the week. I will have a review of a movie coming out, of that particular weekend, and then, of course, the box office results for the weekend. And this week's epic review showdown is Captain America: Civil War. Now, I was supposed to have someone come on the episode, but she couldn't make it. No worries, not a problem. I did start this very, very late, so that is my fault. But hey, it's Mother's Day. It's all good. But I did invite her on for the X-Men one and pretty much every comic book one after that. So she will be on at least one more this year. But yeah, it's just me, guys. So I apologize. So without further ado, let's get into it, because I know you guys are fucking waiting for it. Now, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to skip ahead to the review, you see these little nifty little bars down here in this lower third, then just wait until it changes to the Captain America Civil War review, and you can go for it. As far as my audio listeners, you guys know the drill. It just kind of gauge it. See, usually after the 20 or 30 minute mark, I'm pretty good to go. But all right, so let's get this started. All right, so let's jump into some movie news. So how you guys doing today? You guys doing pretty good? You guys have a pretty good weekend? I fucking did. All right. Let's start with the first piece of news. Speaking of comic book movies, DC, they have their whole lineup set out. They got The Flash, they got Wonder Woman, they got Cyborg, they got Aquaman. They got a bunch of shit coming out, and I'm really looking forward to everything that they're doing. The news is that the director of The Flash, which is Seth Grahame-Smith, he has stepped down. Now, should we be worried? No, we shouldn't, because another rumor that was like along with this week as well was is that James Wan was leaving Aquaman. Dude, people just calm down with the rumors. I realize that your lives are fucking boring, and you guys come up with shit, to make your lives feel better. But it's just calm down, just calm your pants, trolls. No, having Seth Grahame-Smith step down from The Flash is really good, actually, because this is the guy behind, written-wise, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, Dark Shadows. I have not liked anything that guy has done, and this would have been his directorial debut, and I just don't think you should give a first-time director a big-ass movie like this. Like, I'm a filmmaker. I majored in filmmaking. Don't give me the fucking Flash. I would run that thing hard into the ground after, like, day 2, and they'd be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, you should have trusted me. No, like, you need to do some indie films first. Get your feet wet. Do some smaller stuff before you get into the bigger things in the industry. So I think him stepping down is actually a good thing. But I'm really looking forward to The Flash. I've never seen the TV show. A lot of people say watch the TV show. And it'd be really cool if they can kind of cross the TV show Flash and the movie Flash together, since the Flash is known to cross like alternate dimensions and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, just him stepping down, getting more experience one in there, and that's all I gotta say about that. All right, speaking of superheroes, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Kevin Feige was on the interview trail for Civil War, and he basically said that Spider-Man: Homecoming will the events of it will happen after the events of Civil War. And after seeing Civil War, that makes total sense. I didn't really expect anything to happen before or after. And I was telling my roommate this after we got done watching it. I'm really fucking glad that there's going to be no origin story for Spider-Man. We don't need it. We fucking know. It's the same thing with Batman's parents. We all fucking know by this point. So can we just move on, have him do his little adventures or whatever? I'm okay with that. So having Spider-Man Homecoming having its events after Civil War makes total sense to me. I'm totally fine with that. And after watching Civil War, it does make sense. The next piece of news is that the Power Rangers photo was released. All right, so for all you guys who don't know me out there, I'm not afraid to reveal my age. I'm 26. I was born in 1990, and I am a 90s kid. I grew up with a bunch of 90s TV shows, Nickelodeon, Disney, you name it. And Power Rangers was at the forefront of my childhood. Now, I did actually watch a few episodes of the TV show, and as a kid, I enjoyed it because it was stupid and colorful. And then when you watch it as an adult, it is stupid and colorful, but it's all good. I did see the movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. I did not see the sequel. Not a sequel, but like the second movie. It was like a spinoff in some weird universe called Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. That went to theaters. It bombed. And so Saban, Sabretooth Tiger, whatever the fucking company is called, that owns Power Rangers, they've been really hesitant on making a new kind of version to kind of reinvigorate this franchise. They're doing that. And I've said this on the podcast many times. I'm curious about it. I'm not going to shut it down completely just yet. But if they're going to go in that like cheesy kind of corny anime route, of course it's going to turn people off. But after looking at the photo, the suits look cool. They look cool and they look interesting. Now, does this photo actually make me more excited for the movie? Actually, yes, it does. Their suits, for all you audio listeners out there, please go check it out when you get done with this podcast or whatever. And, people on YouTube, I can't show the picture or whatever because I haven't figured that out yet. But it's like a mixture of Tron and Iron Man. Like an Iron Man suit and a Tron suit. It's kind of had that like colorful, ravey kind of LED light vibe to it. And like I said, it looks cool, looks interesting. And what that photo is in the context for the movie, I'm curious about it. I actually do want to see this movie now. And it'd be kind of cool to see kind of a revamped Power Rangers movie after all these years since my childhood, seeing the corny ass versions. It'd be really cool to see what they're going to do with this property. But the photo looks cool, looks interesting, and it's got me intrigued. The next piece of news is that Russell Crowe, the Crowster, Russell Crowe, he is going to join the Mummy as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think I pronounced that right. All right, anyway, I know it's the dual character or whatever, good and bad or whatever. He's going to play that character in the Mummy movie starring Tom Cruise. This whole monster universe that Universal is just spewing out their ass right now, I'm really intrigued by it. When you get Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, when you get Tom Cruise in the Mummy, and when you get Russell Crowe in the Mummy movie as well as a Dr. Jekyll character, that's fucking awesome. And that shows me that Universal cares about this property. Because the monsters, like Frankenstein, werewolf, Mummy, Sandman, Invisible Man, swamp monster, whatever you want to think, those are Universal's babies. And that's what really made them popular back when, film was just, getting on a roll or whatever. Excuse me. That was kind of like their bread and butter, was those monster movies. And I am really intrigued by the cast that they're getting and what kind of direction they're going to go with it. And if it's going to be like really like terrifying and like fun and just a really good time at the movies and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to these movies based on the cast. Cause it seems like if you can get that good of a cast, dude, you're fucking good to go. Okay. You know what I'm saying? G, you know what I'm saying? Homie Slice Biscuit, you're good to go. Okay. And that's just great. So, Russell Crowe joins the Mummy, and sounds like a good time to me. And the last piece of news, and the one that everyone wanted to talk about, is that Captain Marvel is going to join Infinity War. I'm just kidding. That's not the big news, but that is another piece of news that I'm going to fly at you guys. The Russo brothers are on the trailer or whatever for doing Captain America Civil War interviews, and they slipped it out saying Captain Marvel's going to be in Infinity War. Oops. Okay, Russo brothers, I love you to death, but no fucking shit. Listen, Infinity War is going to have literally every character under the sun. We knew that she was going to be in there. You ain't hiding anything. It's okay. We got you. We got you, B. We're not going to yell at you. No studio should yell at you for slipping that out because it's kind of like a no-duh situation. Of course Captain Marvel is going to be in the Infinity Wars. Everyone's going to be in Infinity War. Like Groot and Rocket Raccoon are going to be fighting Thanos in the Infinity War movies. Everyone will be there. So it's okay. But I'm just kidding. The last piece of news that you guys wanted me to talk about, or if you didn't want me to talk about it, you kind of want to know my thoughts on it because it was the biggest piece of news this week. Let me take a drink. That's refreshing. Okay. So Alden Ehrenreich, the guy from Hail Caesar, came out earlier this year. He kind of played that like old-timey actor who was a cowboy in the movie. He was placed into a drama, and it was like one of the funniest scenes in the movie. He was one of the better parts about that movie. I thought the movie was okay, but he was definitely one of the better parts. Anyways, Alden Ehrenreich is going to play the young Han Solo in Han Solo. The Han Solo movie. I am okay with this. I mean, you guys know this. I'm going to say this again. I'll say it until the day I die. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I really don't care who's cast. I really don't care who's in these movies. As long as you get good actors and actresses, that's all I care about. I am excited for like Rogue One when you're putting like Forrest Whitaker and Ben Mendelsohn. Shit, like that cast is just it's too good. It's too fucking good. It's so good, make your fucking head spin. That was like my Donald Trump, but I apologize. I realized I just lost half of you guys listening. All right. It's going to be so good, it's going to make your fucking head spin. I will nail that by the time the election cycle runs around. All right. But Alden Ehrenreich will play Han Solo. And from what I saw in Hail Caesar, I believe he's a good enough actor to portray this role. Now, is anyone going to replace Harrison Ford? No. No one's going to ever replace him. It's the same with Indiana Jones. No one's going to ever replace him. But having a young Han Solo and Alden Ehrenreich, I'm okay with. From what I saw in that glimmer of Hail Caesar, he was good. So I got faith in him. Does he really look like Han Solo? No. And I hope this isn't true, but what they're saying is that he's going to have a cameo in Rogue One. Rogue One's supposed to take place like what, like a few months or like a few weeks before Episode 4? And if that's the case, Harrison Ford looks like Harrison Ford in A New Hope. Alden Ehrenreich looks like himself in Rogue One if he's placed in there. So that doesn't really make sense character facial feature wise, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I don't like that piece of news where he's going to be in Rogue One because that's not going to really make sense in the timeline. I'm not even the biggest Star Wars fan, and I know that. But as far as himself playing the role, sure, if he carries the swagger and the charm and the humor and the humanity, I guess, like within that character, the scoundrel, if you will, then he's going to do fine. And I think him being in the best I can say is good pick. Because what I saw in Hail Caesar, he did a pretty good job. All right, so that's it for the movie news, guys. What was your favorite piece of news? And do you think Alden Ehrenreich is going to be a good young Han Solo? Comment in place, roll my face, and let me know. So let's jump into the 2 trailers that came out this week. This was a shitty week for trailers. All right, the first trailer I want to talk about, there's one good and one bad. Let's start with the bad one. All right, so Bad Moms came out, the Red Band trailer. It stars Kristen Bell, Mila Kunis, Katherine Hahn. Basically, they're moms that go wild. Start partying, probably have a bunch of orgies in subway stations. I don't know the plot, but it's from the guys that wrote The Hangover, John Lucas and Scott Moore. and they are directing this one. I think they wrote it as well. I didn't like the trailer. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Kristen Bell, Mila Kunis, and Kathryn Hahn, not only because they are absolutely attractive women, all three of them, but I am a fan of all their talent in their own way. Kathryn Hahn is a hilarious woman. The first time I ever saw her was Step Brothers, and she fucking killed it in that movie. Mila Kunis, I love her comedy work as well. I know a lot of people are like, what, really? Like, trust me, she's funny. But I do like her dramatic stuff as well. When she's like in Black Swan, she does something different. Kristen Bell, I thought she was charming in Forgetting Sarah Marshall and stuff. And she's got a likability about her that I really, really do like, especially with Mila Kunis as well. But this trailer was horseshit. It was awful. I did not like it whatsoever. All the jokes, it felt like stuff we've seen before. The only part I may have like smiled at was like maybe at the end when Kathryn Hahn basically called her kid a dumb motherfucker. I am not exaggerating. That was the exact log. That was the exact log, guys. Exact line. I might have smiled at that just because it caught me off guard. But other than that, everything else just looks generic. It looks basic. It doesn't look like anything's new. But hey, listen, this is one of those comedies to where like maybe they're saving all the best stuff for the movie. Maybe it'll be reviewed well, and it was just the trailer and how it was put together. I don't know, but on first impression, especially the Red Band trailer, when you're trying to sell it to like a, an audience that craves those raunchy movies, did not work for me. So, yeah, Bad Moms was a bad trailer. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your terrible joke for the week. All right, and the last trailer, the good trailer. I know people are gonna say, really? The Shallows full trailer was a good trailer? Yeah, it was. Compared to Bad Moms, it was. I reviewed the teaser trailer, I think, a couple weeks ago, and it was fine. It was just a teaser, just a couple quick shots and stuff. But this one kind of gives us a story about Blake Lively's character and what she does beforehand, before she gets stuck on the rock, and moving from the rock to like maybe a buoy or whatever. Dude, I fucking like this, man. Listen, I'm a huge sucker for a one place type of movies, like one location movies, like Devil, all stuck in an elevator, or hell, even the movie that looks like The Shallows, Open Water, where two people are stranded out in sea after their boat leaves them, and they're stuck in the water. They're just floating there. And it's creepy because I have a deep fear of deep water, and I don't like, it's dark outside. You don't want like stuff like touching your legs. It's fucking weird. Just no. And The Shallows looks exactly like that. It kind of has like that really kind of creepy terror feel to it. And I like it, man. Like, was there a couple of cheesy moments in it? Sure. But I was totally on board for it because, like I said, I'm a little biased because I love those like one location type movies and stuff. I think Blake Lively is going to kill it. I've always thought she was a talented actress. I just really wish she would have had like a vehicle for her to let her chop shine. And this is the one right here. If The Shallows is a big hit, dude, the Ryan Reynolds family crew has got 2 big hits on their hands this year. But yeah, I really like The Shallows. I like the tone of it. I like Blake Lively. I liked the horrific aspect of being stuck out there on a rock or on a buoy or whatever, trying to escape this shark. I'm not going to sleep well tonight. So that's it for the trailers, guys. Sorry, it's kind of a shitty one. So how bad was the Bad Moms trailer? Let me know down below. And all right, guys, this is it. Let's get into the meat of the podcast. Let's get into the bulk of it. The appetizers are out of the way. The fat is trimmed off. Let's get into the movie. Now, if you guys do not know this, I am a humongous Marvel fan. I'm a humongous DC fan. And I've liked all their movies for the most part. I don't dislike any Marvel movie, by the way. I like all of them, love all of them, and maybe even fucking love all of them. But I'm not going to say all of them are perfect, but I haven't found one where I disliked. And as far as like DC goes, I love Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman stuff, so I like what they're doing there. So in X-Men, Deadpool, it's all. So Deadpool comes out earlier this year, and it's a great way to kick off the year. Loved it. Batman v Superman. I liked it. Here we go with Captain America Civil War. Now, this is the third one in the Captain America trilogy. You have Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and now Captain America Civil War. Now, I was really pumped for this movie. I heard about this movie in October of 2014 when Kevin Feige stood on the El Capitan stage and he announced the Phase 3 movies. This was the first one to kick off Phase 3. Man, everyone lost their shit when Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans came on stage. Chadwick Boseman was introduced as Black Panther on stage. He was introduced as that character, bam, boom, right there on stage. And we're all just fucking eating it up. And of course I had to watch the video of it, but I was just crying tears of joy in my seat because I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good. Now, Captain America is actually my favorite character of the Avengers. I think he's the most complex and the most interesting. Maybe until I get to my Civil War review. Is that a little foreshadowing there? Ooh, get sexy. But Captain America to me is just the most interesting with the most depth because death. That is true partially. Most depth because he's a man out of his own time. The guy is like 100 years old. He is an old motherfucker. But he he got frozen in ice, he got brought back and stuff, and he's still got like this kind of Boy Scout mentality of, back in the day and stuff when everything was just all hunky-dory and happy and stuff. And he's stuck in this modern world where everything is different. Everything is shifted politically and, with the government and stuff. And, it kind of freaks Cap out. That's why the Winter Soldier is so good because his whole ideology is shattered right in front of him. And it's kind of a really hard thing to watch because you're like, man, dude, this character is just going through so fucking much. And so going into Civil War, I was super excited to see how they were going to extend Cap's storyline, Bucky's storyline, and how are they going to fit all these other Avengers into this story. I got to tell you, we saw this movie this morning, and I had time to think about it, so I'm not jumping the gun right away. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I think Civil War is the best thing Marvel has done with their films. As far as like the Disney brand. If I had to pick a second one, it'd probably be the Winter Soldier. And then below that would probably be Ultron. Then after that, Guardians. And after that, maybe Captain America, the First Avenger. That probably might be my top 5 right now. I absolutely love this movie. And I'm going to go and just tell you right now. Maybe as I'm talking about it, I might have some nitpicks. I don't have many. I do not have many problems with this movie whatsoever. I think it's a damn fine film. So let's get real and break this down. Captain America Civil War. So let's start with the writing and directing. Now, it's directed by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo, who previously directed The Winter Soldier. And The Winter Soldier was like a political thriller. It was like a spy film. It didn't even feel like a superhero movie to a point where I was like, oh yeah, it's fucking Captain America. So that movie was a solid film. Now, Civil War, they upped their game so much, I cannot wait to see what they do with Infinity War. The directing in this movie is so outstanding, and how it was able to weave so many storylines together and make it seem coherent that I was actually really impressed. Because there was a lot going on in this movie. You had Cap and Bucky, you had Iron Man and his team, you had Vision and Scarlet Witch, you had the villain Baron Zemo, you had a bunch of interrogation scenes with Bucky, you had Black Panther, you had Spider-Man. There was a lot that could have gone wrong with this movie. But the flow and the way the directors stitched each scene together seemed so fluid. It was just incredible. I was locked in from start to finish. It opens up with an action scene. It kind of ends with one. It's just incredible filmmaking from the story and how the characters develop. These directors know how to develop character. Cap's storyline is furthered, and his friendship with Bucky is so genuine and so heartfelt. I felt that, and that's what the directors bring the most out of this storyline in this movie, is the emotion behind each and every single character. Everyone is explored. Everyone's got a stance on, the Sokovia Accords, the thing that is presented in this movie. Everyone's got strong feelings about it, and everyone just brought their A game in terms of their character and their acting, and just bringing the emotion up to an 11. It's out of a 10. It was kind of outstanding to watch in terms of the progression from Winter Soldier to this one, because the acting is very good in Winter Soldier, but I don't know what the Russo brothers did, but they really elevated themselves with the story and the characters and stuff, and really brought in some really good dramatic filmmaking, which I was telling one of my fellow critic friends before I started recording this, I forgot I was watching a superhero movie. That's how engaged I was, and that's how much I felt for these characters. Because when you go into this movie, you feel like you're going to pick a side. You feel like, oh man, I'm Team Cap all the way, or boom, I'm Team Iron Man. No, as the movie goes on, even at the beginning of the movie, you see where Cap's coming from. You see where Iron Man's coming from. You see where Black Panther's coming from. You see where Spider-Man's coming from. Everyone has got their point, and it comes across very, very clear. And you're tugging with the characters. You're like, oh man, I understand what Cap's talking about. Oh shit, I understand what Iron Man's talking about. You go back and forth, which is great because it plays on the whole psychological aspect of this movie, which the Russo brothers said this was, which was a psychological thriller. Now, before I continue, there are no spoilers in this review, so you are safe. But I will say this. There's a few moments in the movie where it was so emotionally impactful, and it kind of caught me off guard as like a twist goes with the plot and how it served the story. I was like, oh my God, this was great. This was that one, like these few moments were like better than like some full movies that they've done. Like that's how impressed I was at the directing in terms of the story and the characters and the emotion. And of course, you can't forget the humor is there. These guys know how to do humor. They did episodes of Community, Arrested Development, Happy Endings. These guys know humor and how it's supposed to feel, and the way it's natural and how it doesn't feel rigid with these characters or these actors delivering these lines. It all felt very natural, and they had a nice flow to it. So I covered the story and the characters and stuff. The action, oh my God. Listen, the Russo brothers created something really unique with the Winter Soldier. The violence felt brutal. It felt bone-shattering. I felt every single hit that Cap or Bucky or Crossbones, whoever the hell was making the hit, I fucking felt that. Now, the Russo brothers actually dragged on, I believe, the directors or the stunt people, the stunt coordinators for John Wick. I could be wrong. Let me know down below. But they recruited those people to help with the fight scenes. You can definitely tell. Because in the Winter Soldier and this one, the fight scenes are just incredible. They feel visceral. They feel brutal. You feel the hits. And with the emotion attached to each character, and the fact that one person's got this side, one person's got this side, and they're both fucking fighting, the fight and the battles are more important because you can see it on the battlefield with the action, and you can see the battle within themselves, and it's just great with the action because it's just a nice correlation with both what they're feeling on the inside or within themselves and what we see on the battlefield. It's great stuff. And everyone's talking about the airport scene. It's fucking phenomenal. It is definitely in the top 3 best comic book action sequences I've seen in a film. I had so much fun from beginning to end while watching it. Everyone was in this battle. Everyone had a shining role in it. I'm not going to say who had the best role because I just don't want to put any expectations, but I will say it was well crafted in terms of the choreography and the stunts and just the way it was executed in terms of the way it was shot and edited and put together, sound design. It all came together and just gelled so perfectly. The action was so fantastic. So yeah, as far as the directing goes, they nailed the characters, they nailed the story, they nailed the action. these guys, I cannot believe they're doing Infinity War. I'm so stoked for that. In terms of the writing, there are some really good lines of dialogue in this movie. I was really kind of impressed with what some of the lines Cap was saying, even Thunderbolt Ross was saying, what Iron Man was saying, and all these specific characters having their own specific sides and how they view the world and what they should do. Should they go help these people? Should they be controlled by the government? It was very interesting political dialogue. That's kind of I kind of felt like I was watching like this really kind of unique, mystical, like political movie or whatever. And I keep forgetting I was watching a superhero film. And I just, some of the lines of dialogue stuck. And even some of the lines from the trailer that were iconic, like, sorry, Tony, he's my friend. So was I. It's still powerful when you hear it in the movie. So like the dialogue and just the way the characters are constructed, it's just really well handled. And I don't know. There's nothing bad to say about the writing and directing. There really isn't. And I forgot to mention, in terms of the story, the villain, Baron Zemo, played by Daniel Brühl, we'll get into the acting in just a second. But a lot of people are having a problem with, is he really necessary? Does he really provide a purpose? I think he does. And I think his role was served quite well. He was very ballistic at first, and then like you kind of felt for him towards the end, and it's like, oh damn, I see where he's even coming from. So you even pick his side for a little bit. So I thought he was really well handled, and I don't really see him as a villain. I see him as an instigator for a problem at hand between these superheroes, and he's just trying to get rid of what he thinks is the problem and stuff. So I didn't find his motives muddy or clouded or whatever. They were very clear and direct, and I felt everything from him. Was there enough screen time? That argument could be in contention, but I think his screen time was enough. I think he was in that movie just right, just the right amount, and his motives were clear. I felt for him, and what he did was very dickish, but I got where he was coming from. So getting into the acting. Everyone is on their A game. Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, Captain America. He does it again. I mean, there's really nothing to say. It's his movie. He drives it. And there was a couple of scenes I almost teared up because I never saw Captain America really get sad before. There's a couple moments in the story and in the movie that unfold, and he's almost tearing up. And I was like, dude, there's a lot going on with this guy, because this is a guy that wants to save his friend Bucky so bad, because Bucky is the last link to his past. He does not want to give that up, because if he does, he's going to be so lost in this world. And Bucky is that one anchor that he has. And it was so tender to watch. In Chris Evans' performance and Sebastian Stan's performance as the Winter Soldier, everyone does so great. But the two main ones, Bucky and Cap, fantastic. Scarlet Witch, amazing. We see a little bit more to her and stuff. We see how powerful she gets. Holy fuck. Vision is great. I love Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany completely nails that like kind of sophisticated monotone type of android that we can actually feel for, so we can actually sympathize with a robot. That's great. You rarely ever see that. Falcon's great. Black Widow's great. Black Panther and Spider-Man. Those are the two that you want me to talk about because they're the ones introduced. Just hold on. I'll get to those last because I have to mention Robert Downey Jr. Now, Chris Evans, this is his movie. It's Captain America, and I firmly believe that it is the story between him and Buck and their friendship and how strong and palpable that is. However, this is the best acting I have seen from Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, period. I'm talking first movie, second movie, third movie, Avengers 2. Out of the 5 movies he's done so far as this character, this is the best portrayal of his character. Now, number 3 could be argued because I really like kind of like that PTSD aspect about him, because this is a normal guy who's in a suit who's experienced some shit, some alien outer space shit that would fuck with any person. So he's kind of unhinged a little bit. But in this movie, he's even more unhinged. And there was a moment at the end where I was like, oh my God. First of all, I didn't see that coming. But second of all, that was some of the best acting I've ever seen him do in a Marvel movie. It was so powerful and so emotional. I got behind him as soon as the scene was unfolding. I was like, Tony, I feel for you, bro. Let me give you a fucking hug. Like, there's a couple moments in this movie, at the end in particular, that Robert Downey Jr. really brings that like depth and that sadness to this character, because this is a guy who's experienced some shit. And I really like that about him. And they're just, you explored his character even more, even though it's not his movie. He was the knockout for me, man. Like, he was the standout. He was so damn good. So Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan and Robert Downey Jr. are definitely the top 3 favorites in terms of the people that are already existing in this universe. So let's get into Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman, fantastic job. I thought his character was introduced very, very well. I thought some of the emotional stuff with him were handled very, very well. Chadwick Boseman really brought the energy, the ferocity, and the emotion behind this character that I cannot wait to see Black Panther. So he was really well handled in the movie. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. This is the Spider-Man that we needed. Now listen, you might like the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans. I like 1 and 2. You might like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans. I like the first one. Well, let's get one thing right. Tobey Maguire was like 27, I think 26, 28 when he did the first Spider-Man. He's supposed to play a high schooler. Andrew Garfield was almost 30 when the first one came out. Supposed to play a high schooler. Tom Holland is like 20 years old, but he looks like a 12-year-old. He fits the role of Peter Parker. Peter Parker is supposed to be a high schooler. And I think that Tom Holland, he nailed the sarcasm and the wit and kind of like the, not stupidity, but what's the word I'm looking for? Naiveness about him and stuff. That's what Peter Parker is, and he kicks a lot of ass. He can lift cars and stuff, but he's just a kid. And they even mentioned that in the movie. It's like, dude, where'd you find this kid? We're fucking adults fighting, and it's like this is a 17-year-old. So I thought Tom Holland nailed every single aspect about Peter Parker from the comics, and just the way he acted, and just the fact that he was a kid, the fact he looked like a kid. It's already like 1,000 miles better than Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. As much as I like those movies, he looks like him, he sounds like him, he acts like him. That was fucking Peter Parker. And the 2 scenes that he had were great, and I can't wait to see the standalone Spider-Man. So let's get to the cinematography. I forgot to mention acting. Marissa Tomei comes in as Aunt May. She's great, but she's always great, and she's kind of hot. Aunt May, call me. Cinematography-wise, what I really liked about the Russo brothers, like with The Winter Soldier, is that the cinematography felt grounded. It felt realistic. It felt gritty and dirty and stuff when they were fighting. And when they were kind of in the quieter moments, it was a little more calmer in the camera work. And that's exactly what Civil War is. In the quieter moments, the camera, it stays on shots, and it kind of lets you get covered in this emotional blanket from these characters, and it works out. And then when it's in the action scenes, even the action scenes were really well handled in terms of the way they were shot, because they would leave it on certain shots for a long period of time to see the choreography, see the punches, see the blows, and it's engaging. It puts you in the movie, and that's what's really great about the fight style, the choreography, and the cinematography that go hand in hand with the action scenes in this movie. But as far as the dramatic elements, it's shot well. It's some of the shots are really kind of beautiful and haunting and stuff, and the action scenes are really well handled. The locations look really great. It's just a really well shot movie. Editing-wise and special effects. The movie's about 2.5 hours long. Never felt it drag once. I was locked in from the moment the movie started until the moment the movie ended, and I was thinking to myself after the movie ended, I was like, oh my God, what the hell's going to happen? Like, I don't even know what's going to happen with Infinity War and stuff, and it's just really exciting to kind of speculate and stuff. It kind of, because it leaves the Avengers kind of like on a broken note, and you're like, what the hell's going to happen for Infinity War? But that that intrigue is from great filmmaking. It was a great story, and I was locked in, never felt bored. All the action scenes were exciting. Your adrenaline was pumping. You got invested, especially if you've been watching these movies since 2008 with the first Iron Man. It's been almost 10 years. If you do not like these movies by now, you're never going to get into them. But if you're a huge fan of them, this was kind of like the emotional bubble that was just bursting all over the screen, and you were just so locked in. It felt like a hardcore drama at some points, and you're like, what am I watching? This isn't even a superhero movie. This is just a really good film that happens to have superheroes in it. So as far as the pace and the rhythm goes, it was flawless. I was locked in. It was a roller coaster ride of emotion and action and just pure adrenaline and fun and energy. I fucking loved it. Special effects looks really good. The airport battle scene, there's one thing in particular where I was like, holy shit, how the hell did they do this? Even the stuff at the very end in the kind of like snow and whatnot, there's a couple ocean scenes. There's a lot of location shifts. Special effects are really well handled. But then again, all the Marvel movies look pretty damn well. And I haven't really had any like moments or issues where I go, that looks like a green screen. So the special effects are well handled. The music's great. I forgot to mention that. But yeah. So to wrap it up, guys, this is my favorite Marvel movie to date. The characters were more fleshed out. This was Cap's story at heart about friendship. Tony Stark had some great emotional moments that almost had me tear up. The action was visceral, brutal, and gritty. I loved it. The confliction between Cap and Tony and stuff, you felt it. It was pulling you, tugging you, going on each side. You're like, I don't know where I am standing on this, but I'm with you both. You were engaged. You were into this. It's just a really well-handled political movie, dramatic movie, psychological thriller. Humor is throughout. It's a comedy in some parts. It's just a mixture of everything, culminating into this 8-year experience we've had so far. I cannot wait to continue on the Marvel Universe. I've liked pretty much everything they've done, loved or just absolutely fucking loved it. This is one of those I absolutely fucking love this movie, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I'm going to give Captain America Civil War an A+. It is outstanding filmmaking. Even if you're not a superhero fan, go see it. It's a really well-handled film. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm going to compare it to Batman v Superman. I like Batman v Superman. But the problem is it was messy in some parts. It wasn't coherent. This movie is coherent. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's all sewn in so well together. It's a powerful experience and a great time at the movies. So, have you seen Captain America Civil War, or have you even heard of it? Of course you've heard of it. Comment in the place below my face and let me know. Speaking of Captain America Civil War, let's get into the box office results for the weekend, guys. All right. Man, I got really pumped up doing that review. I really like this movie quite a bit. All right. Number 5 is Keanu with $3 million. Its budget is 15. Domestically, it's only got 15. No worldwide numbers. Ugh. I thought I'd do way better than that. I'm sorry. I predicted wrong on that one. That's for damn sure. Number 4 is The Huntsman Winter's War with $3.5 million. Its budget is 115, so it needs about 230, maybe 250 with marketing to break even. It's made 40 million domestic and 146 worldwide. Yikes. It's about 100 million away from breaking even. That's sad. Number 3, of course, since it is Mother's Day weekend, Mother's Day was number 3 with 9 million. His budget is unknown, but domestically it's made 20 million. That's 20 million too much. Number 2 is The Jungle Book. So Disney had a great fucking weekend. Where's Zootopia at? Oh my God. Is Zootopia kicked out? Oh, Zootopia is number 7. That scared the shit out of me. So, yeah, 3 Disney movies in the top 10. Number 2 is The Jungle Book with 21 million. This movie's doing so well. The budget is 175 million. Needs to make about 350, maybe 375 to break even because of the marketing stuff. Domestically, which is the U.S. and Canada, it's got 284 million, and worldwide 776. That is amazing. Disney's on a roll. And speaking with Disney on a roll, you guys ready for this shit? Captain America Civil War is number one with $181 million. Wow. Now, it opened up in foreign territories last weekend, so it got like a $250 million bump before it came to the States. Its budget is $250 million. So I'm going to say to double the budget, it's $500, but maybe with like the $50 million, $100 million, I'm going to say about $550 million it needs to break even, maybe even $600 million to break even. Domestically, it opened up with 181. It's its second weekend in foreign territories. Worldwide, Captain America Civil War in week one here, week two in foreign territories, has made $678 million. This movie will cross $1 billion. You want to know why? Because this movie has an extreme condition called rewatchability, and I will definitely rewatch it at least one more time before it leaves theaters, and then I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray and watch it even more times and stuff. So $678 million on a 2-week open, 1 week here. That's just fucking incredible. Yeah, it's definitely going to hit $1 billion. I love you so much, Civil War. I love you. So that's awesome, Disney. Congratulations. So that will do it for this week, guys, on Reel Me In, a movie podcast. I know it was kind of short this week, but I was by myself, and it's late at night, and I needed to get this episode up for you guys. So, yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, let me put up my name right here. It's at Real Chasely right here. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Click that link down below if you're listening on the audio version. If you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button, click the like button, do all that jazz, spread it around, tell your peeps, tell your family, tell your dog, and tell your goldfish that this is the best damn movie podcast around, and you want to see it just explode with a bunch of flavor all over the internet. But no, I really do appreciate you guys listening every single week or watching every week on YouTube and stuff. I really do appreciate you guys are the fucking best, awesome people. Happy Mother's Day, guys. Go spend some time with your moms. I know I did, and in June I'll spend some time with my dads on Father's Day. That's just how I roll. So, yeah, I believe that's it. So that's episode 129. Next week, episode 130. I actually forgot what comes out next weekend. Hold on, guys. This is live, but I'm going to do this for you. All right, what comes out next week? All right, so next week we have The Lobster, High Rise, The Darkness, and Money Monster. I'll definitely do Money Monster and maybe The Darkness. If not, I'll do High Rise. So I know for a damn fact that Money Monster will be a pick for next week, and The Darkness is a possibility, but maybe High Rise. So Money Monster for sure. So that will be episode 130 for next week, guys. Everyone, thank you for listening. Like I said, you guys are fucking awesome. Have a good day, good night, whenever the hell you listen to this. You guys stay fucking awesome. All right, let's play the outro music. And speaking of outro music and intro music, is done by my friends band Fervent Rose. Check them out on YouTube. They just dropped a YouTube video called The One. It's got like thousands of hits right now. They are blowing up in Dallas, man. I'm so glad I'm their friend because I don't have any friends and I need some famous friends. So I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast. And hey, listen, if you made it through this entire podcast and you were not a movie fan, well, hopefully I convinced you to be one. I'm Chase Lee. Let's play that music. Oh, fucking Civil War, man. Fuck. I'll see you guys later.